I raised the nine-tailed fox wrongly. One day, I met a spirit. And it wasn't just anyone, but a gumiho puppy. As I worried about the little one's fate, I met a priestess from the Eastern continent who told me to raise him until he reached maturity, and then send him back home. How could a cursed human welcome and care for a young life? It was strange and scary, but I couldn't refuse. The fox was just adorable. So, with much love and care, I raised him. But when he grew up, he became as seductive as I've heard of his kind, and he refused to be independent. With that lewd look, he said, "You can't run away. Keep being good and help me, Cilia, by my side, forever." My mom entered a contract marriage. First of all, it's the same author as the Pale Horse Manhwa, so we know the art is going to be pretty. Lyrica is a hard-working 8-year-old girl who has always used her vivid imagination to escape the harsh realities of living in the slums with her neglectful mother. After her mother has a premonition of a disastrous future, she snaps to her senses and devises a plan to provide a different life for Lyrica. But even Lyrica couldn't have imagined that the plan was to marry the Emperor. Now that she has everything she could ever dream of, can Lyrica face reality in spite of her wild imagination? The Archduke's gorgeous wedding was a fraud. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in a crate about to be sold as a slave in an auction. It was going well until the novel's male lead burst in and saved me, but all of a sudden, this man asked me to marry him. In exchange, he offered 10 billion for being a wicked woman and prevent other ladies from approaching him. Sounds like a deal to me. Will acting as a villainess with all my might bring me money, power, fame, and even love? Black Winter. One cold winter night, Hyessa seeks shelter in an old house in the mountains, where she meets a slumbering stranger named Yuan. That's when tragedy begins to befall Hyessa's friends, plunging the young girl into a sad and lonely youth. 10 years later, as Yuan starts to regain his lost memories, he realizes that this cursed fate goes back much further, to a time only he can recall. But with sinister forces at play, will they be able to break the toxic cycle and step into the warmth of spring? When fate finds us. As a prophetess, Nomi can see the futures of those she touches. Yet sadly, as the wife of a god, she sees only death in her own fateful future. But then, a sudden kiss with an unruly merchant brings a vision of life. Could he be Nomi's key to survival, or will she be unable to escape her destiny?